exciting day for camp, first day in pads. Talk to us a little bit about how the last couple days have led you today and what you expect out of this day's practice.
Yeah, so day 6, I think 1 through 5 has been pleased with 1 through 5. I've been really pleased with our effort, and I've been really pleased with our focus. Practice, you have a couple days of helmets, and then you have 3 days of uppers or shells. And the intensity from day 1 through day 5 has been consistent. That's one of the areas that we've been harping on, is just practicing consistently at a high level and focusing on things that don't beat ourselves. And I think the staff and I are pleased with where we're at from that standpoint. It's not been perfect by any means, but the effort, the detail, the willingness to want to get better has been a pleasure to be around. And so today should be yes, it's full pads, but it should be no different as far as the intensity and the mindset that you have. We're working some specific situations throughout camp. Today's a big day from a situational standpoint, but not a lot to complain about, except it's probably not been hot enough for us, to try to get used to the weather we're going to be playing in.
Coming up this Saturday, you got the scrimmage. What do you hope to get accomplished there? Do you hope to start being able to pencil in depth chart stuff after that one?
Well, I think that's some of it is that'll be practice 9 for us, and so by that point you have a lot of stuff installed. So what can people handle in a scrimmage like situation? Not a practice where you're doing certain situations, and so how can guys, when they're on the field, the coaches aren't out there, how do they show up with referees and all that? And that's 1. 2, I hope by that point then some people have solidified their role, and so meaning, hey, we've started determining some roles from a standpoint of depth chart wise, as far as, hey, these 4 are rotating or these 2 are rotating. These guys have earned more of the opportunities to have more reps. As right now everybody's getting similar reps, not the same but similar, to see where they're at and see what they can handle. By 9 you start narrowing it down that next week, because you've only got 16 practices left, and so we'll start making some decisions after that scrimmage as far as the direction of where guys are going to be, what the role is going to be, and then now really go focus on developing that.
Where do you anticipate the toughest positions to say these 2, 3, 4 guys are going to be rotating?
I think you got who's going to solidify themselves at offensive line, because there's some guys there that can contribute. So what does that rotation look like? I think at defensive line people rotate pretty regularly anyway, so not that big of a deal. I think in the secondary you'll have a rotation of some guys. I think at linebacker, who are the 3 or 4 there that you can count on that they're going to play quite a bit of football. I think that's the next one, offensive line and linebacker, and then I think we've got some other pieces at wide receiver, as far as not necessarily who's playing, but what position will they be in that can maximize the best of them, if that makes sense. Like, I think we've got some receivers who can play multiple positions, but where can we put them where they're going to be able to maximize their ability and also maximize our offense?
About the kicking game, how consistent, or do you feel like you're any closer there?
It's a good competition right now. I think we've had a good battle so far through 5, and every opportunity that we've had as far as a live setting, I don't know if we missed maybe 1 kick out of all of them. And so I think that battle's ongoing. I'm pleased so far with the way we're kicking the ball and some of those. Braden Beck has done a great job. Obviously, he's an incumbent being here. He's done a nice job. But Billingsley's come in and did a good job. Black's done a good job. So we've pleased with it. I wish our punting was better. I think we've been inconsistent there, and Max is somebody that's obviously been here and punted in games. I think we could be better there as far as consistency standpoint. But from an overall of special teams, I like that the battle is where it's at. You can't make a decision out because they're all neck and neck, which is a good thing. Hopefully through the next few practices it'll start laying itself out. But those guys have made some big kicks and some pretty good situations so far.
What will the scrimmage format be like this Saturday?
We'll have a little bit of individual, and we'll work a specific, maybe a 2-minute scale in some of that, and then we'll put the ball down and play quite a bit, and then we'll finish with like a red zone type deal. So this will be a full, for us, it'll be it'll be a practice, but a full scrimmage. I mean, it'll be similar to a game as far as we'll try to do everything, that comes up in a game from that standpoint. So it'll be a lot of plays.
Coach, you guys are known for your unique offense and everything. How did that kind of help transition with the new people that you guys brought in, whether it was transfers or just new recruits?
Well, I think most of the guys that we brought in on offense, came in January. So being able to bring them in, you sell them on, hey, this is the offense, this is the opportunity, this is what we've done in the past with specific similar style play, and then they're here in January, so they had a time to learn, which has been really good. So those guys that came in January, they've done really well as far as acclimating to it. We did add some guys in the summer, and so that's always the challenge there when you are unique. Is how quickly can they pick things up, and some of those were offensive linemen, and so they're still in that process of making progress, but also maybe you wish they were a little farther along because you need them to be, and so but the ones in January, I think that have came in, I think I wouldn't say they're masters of it, but you can tell they've done it for a while now, so I think that's been a benefit for it for sure.
And through this time with everyone kind of like meshing together, what do you kind of hope this team identity will be or become, or what's like the goal reaching for?
Well, it's a couple of things. I think one, you want to be connected and you want to be together. I think anything that you do, football teams or sports teams in general talk about being a family all the time. We talk a lot about being a brotherhood and loving your brother and doing things for him because you love him as much as you love yourself. So I hope that through this time frame, through the hard practices, the different challenge, we become so tight, so connected that that when challenges do come, we don't splinter. I've been a part of teams where we've stayed strong together through challenge time. I've been a part of teams where, the first sign of adversity, we've sort of split a little bit. So that's been a huge focus. And so I want us to be tight and want us to be connected. And I think secondly, from an identity standpoint, what you want to become is a team that's resilient. And what I mean by that is good or bad, no matter what's going on, this is who you are. This is how you play consistently, right? And so we've heavily focused the way our practices are laid out, the way our messaging is laid out, is that we're going to be resilient. We're going to be a team that doesn't put our identity in anything but this is who we are every day, not circumstantial based, but this is what we want to be because of that brotherhood. And so we've worked hard with that. I think our players are embracing that. I think they have this a mindset. Our word for the year is earn, just earn the opportunity to be a champion is what we've asked them, just what champions do. And so they've taken that to heart so far. And so I believe that those things that about being connected, about being tough, about being resilient, I think that is something that they've all, hey, we're embracing this is what we're going to do. I'm not saying we're there, but also we're headed in a great direction with that. Now, more adversity is going to come. Today, practice, and then when it gets hot again, there's going to be more, and so we're going to have times to splinter. And so, but I'm confident this group has, that intangibles that really good teams always have of being together.
The quarterback room, I don't know if you're a NASCAR fan, but who's on the pole right now? Would you say after the first week or so, or has anyone really separated themselves, or just kind of take me through that room?
No, I don't think anybody's separated themselves. I think there's been some consistent play. There's some things there where we've got to continue to value the ball and put ourselves in some good situations. But I think that where we were heading into fall camp is probably where we're at right now. From that standpoint, coming out of the summer, today through this weekend will be big as far as development. You're 9 practices in. You're more than almost 33%, a little bit more, almost 40% by Saturday. So we'll have majority of the offense in, and so by then we'll have an idea. All right, these guys need to get the majority of the reps going forward. But if you ask me, hey, what do you think it's going to be? I would probably tell you what it's been up to this point. There's been some good stuff. There's not been terrible things. We've not been way up and down, but there's some things there we got to improve. But I think all the quarterbacks that are getting their opportunities are maximizing those opportunities, and we just need somebody to continue to build off what they're doing and just be consistent with that every day. And but I like the direction we're heading there.
Once you're now in pads, different coaches, different philosophies, tackling. Where are you right now? Are you guys going live very much, or what's that?
Well, you're in 3 days of practice. You're in uppers or shells, so you're hitting as it is. You're just not taking to the ground, right? So we're doing a lot of things to prepare to tackle. We will have some tackling at some point. As far as how much that is, we're going to keep determining that based off the health of our team. I think we know you have to do it. You got to be able to practice physical. So we'll have certain segments that we do those in. But also, I think you got to be smart on the guys that played a lot of football too. Like how much do they need to tackle if they played a lot of football? If there's guys that haven't played a lot and you need them to be ready, then they need to probably tackle more. And so we got to have a balance there. But I feel good about the plan that our coaches have put in place as far as getting our team ready to be a good tackling team and preparing for that.
And so far, just this little spurt in here, just being around practice, talking to coaches, players, it just really seems like there's a good positive vibe. Like there no fights yet, it seems like everyone's kind of pulling on the same rope. Do you get that sense too?
Yeah, I think this has been a good team to be around since January, and I think the sense is that everybody's here wants to be here. They're not necessarily looking ahead, and I think that's the fun thing about it, that they're bought into what we're doing here for the season, and it's not where can I go next mentality, and so that's been good. I think they are appreciative of being here, and they're hungry to go out and have a tremendous season, and I do believe that we're all going in the same direction. We're all pulling the rope in the same direction. Things can change. I know how stuff happens, especially when depth charts get set and all that stuff. But I think this team has got the right leaders. I think it's made up with the right type of people in key positions that care about teammates, and so that I don't think that allow that to happen. And so I feel really good, and our coaches, I think, feel really good about that vibe, or that you're sensing there, that this team is a hungry team. They're a team that is, we feel connected there, that I believe is not going to allow anything to or any circumstance to derail what we think can be a really special season.
Just last question for me. Looking at like the bigger picture, I feel like Liberty is taking its place and putting Lynchburg on the map. Just for this upcoming season, what do you feel like this year's team would bring to the table that would separate you guys on a national relevance versus and high long-term potential for the team?
Yeah, well, I think if you look at our schedule, obviously conference is what it is, but we also have, from an out-of-conference standpoint, we're playing two other conferences that are in the G6, I guess, and a group of six that are respected teams that have respected traditions, and so we have an opportunity from a national standpoint to represent not only our university and Conference USA, but to beat some other teams that are in some well-respected conferences. If you do that, then that puts you sort of in that tier of, or these are teams that maybe have a chance to, if they take care of business, can potentially be part of the playoff. And so I think that's one. But I think also you want sustainability in a program. You want consistency, and you want to win 13 every year. It's hard to do, but you want to be a consistent winner. You want people to know, hey, that program is always going to be a tough team. They're always going to be a tough place a tough team to beat. And so if we can come out, have another good year, and whatever that looks like, then that continues to build our brand. It continues to build the national recognition. Hey, every year this program has a chance to make a lot of noise nationally, and I believe that. And so we just have to do that, game by game.